come on. Yes,
And so the beat off begins. I think the one thing we can say is that Graham and I are definitely not made for that sort of thing, just from an attention span perspective, and our hands just aren't for that. But what we do like to do is spend quite a bit of time in the kitchen. And the question this morning is, have you ever had a Scotch egg?
I absolutely love them. They're beautiful, they're traditional. They are so gorgeous. There's a mixture of different textures. And normally a Scotch egg would be heralded by the breaking of a soft-boiled egg. That yolk would be kind of the gold at the center of this beautiful little prize that you get. But we're going to flip the script here. We're going to kind of level up with a bit of the mature cheddar, courtesy of Clover. And what I love about the Clover cheese is you can kind of really find the cheese that suits your palate. They've got their strength of flavor numbered on each cheese product, which does help a lot. But it's quite a simple process, but you're going to help me out.
You're going to take us through it.
Yeah, I'm going to walk you through it because I love Scotch eggs, and it's something that might feel a bit daunting, but with a little bit of help from our mates at Clover, made with a little bit of love by Clover.
And we want you to get involved too. We want you to be able to make this yourself at home after I've also learned here. SMS that keyword Clover to 33728. That's Clover to 33728. We will gladly send you an SMS with the link to the recipe. You get to know how to make this grand
So it's not just a turn of phrase levels. There are levels to a Scotch egg, okay? And a lot of it obviously stems around the egg itself. So what we've done here is we've gone for a hard-boiled egg, so not the soft boiled egg. We've hollowed out the yolk so that we can then create a chamber to stuff our cheese. So you're going to take our strong, mature cheddar, which has a beautiful flavor. You're going to cram as much cheese into that, and you're going to then close the little egg up to create a beautiful little parcel of cheese, of deliciousness, of love, of joy.
So it's really about cramming as much of the cheese in there as possible.
You're going to kind of encase it in quite a lovely, that looks great, man. And you obviously want the egg to be able to close. I think that's good, man. So seal that little puppy up there, put the other half of the egg on there.
Just a little bit more.
You close it up, and then we can move on to the mince kind of inner outer casing, if you will. What we've gone here is you want a lovely fresh mince, not too fatty. You want it to kind of hold its form. You put those two together, and voila, you wouldn't even tell that it's a stuffed egg. Then what we're going to do now is you're going to obviously have our lean mince mix. We're going to add a few little additions there, some fresh herbs. You can kind of mix it up with whatever suits your flavor palates. We've gone for a little bit of parsley, some thyme, and a little bit of oregano, which will work quite nicely. Very finely chopped because you don't want it to break apart.
But also a pinch of salt,
just
right?
a pinch. Such is your right to salt as much as you want. And then some mustard. Mix in. We've gone for a whole grain mustard here, which works beautifully with the mince. You're going to mix that through. And then ultimately, you're going to take this beautiful mincy mixture and you're going to wrap it around your beautiful egg, and you're going to arrive at this guy over here. Dun, dun, dun. So now I'm going to go through the final stages of the process while you finish mixing that egg, and you can start wrapping that guy together. But you want the mince mix to be nice and tight to hold its shape. So we've got three things here to be able to put our beautiful kind of crusty casing together. A bit of flour, and what the flour does, it's going to help the egg mixture stick to the mince. Okay, and so
you do need that, right?
Yeah, you really do need it,
because otherwise
it's
it
three
can go
layers.
a bit disastrous.
And you can see it's nicely contained. Then we're going to just give it a light coating in our egg, and you can see the egg is getting a nice liberal layer right across. And then we are going to finally dunk it in our very finely broken down breadcrumbs. Look at that.
The keyword is Clover. Remember, Clover to 33728. SMS Clover to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe. It's a pretty easy one. Step-by-step guide, which you're going to love.
And Tabiso and I have never done this before. So the fact that we are being able to do this, can you quickly pass me that spoon? So a little bit of a kitchen hack here that our kitchen fairy taught me. Just take a little pinch of the breadcrumb and toss it into the oil to check if the oil is at the right kind of temperature.
It should sizzle. Yeah, it's perfect.
And that's it. You want it too hot so that you're going to burn the outer layer, but you obviously need it to be hot enough to be able to deep fry this baby. And let's get that guy in there. Dun, 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 look at that.
Nice. So how long would you have that in there for?
I think you're going to have to test it out yourself. Obviously, you want the layer of mince to cook through the cheese to melt. The egg is already cooked, so you're safe there. But you don't want it to over kind of brown or burn the crust. But once you start getting that beautiful golden, delicious brown covering,
you'll know.
You should be good. And because the mince is nice and lean, it's going to cook through pretty quickly.
Okay, so while we let that happen, let's watch a quick recap of how to make this delicious Clover cheese-filled Scotch eggs.
Yay, look at that guy.
Ever cut into a Scotch egg and that beautiful yellow yolk runs out? Now imagine cutting into one and it oozes with cheese. Thanks to Clover, you can. Get cracking by slicing hard-boiled eggs in half. Remove the cooked yolks and stuff the whole with grated Clover mature cheddar and set aside. Next, combine 300 grams of beef mince, 1 tablespoon each of chopped parsley, sage, and thyme, and 1 tablespoon of whole grain mustard in a mixing bowl. Close the eggs up and cover each egg with a 1 centimeter layer of mince mixture. Dredge the mince-covered eggs in flour, beaten egg, and finally breadcrumbs. Slowly deep fry the Scotch eggs until golden and crispy. Allow to cool slightly before devouring. Easy to make and even easier to eat, these crispy golden Clover cheese-filled Scotch eggs might just be the perfect dinner party snack this weekend.
Made with love by Clover.
So it's pretty much very straightforward. It's simple, it's delicious, it's super ideal for lunch boxes or for a nice little family treat when you want to keep the kids entertained. But of course, we know that Clover cheese is manufactured using pasteurized, standardized cow's milk, which is fantastic for this sort of thing, and it's going to be delivering the perfect and the best result you can possibly hope for. And that keyword, once again, is 33728. That's the number, but the keyword is Clover. Send that to 33728. That looks so good.
Look at that.
That looks so good. I can't believe we did this. Put it here. Put it here.
Let's have a little bit of a taste there.
Yummy.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Okay, well,
I'm very proud of us, actually. I was a little bit nervous about doing this because I've never actually made a Scotch egg before, but it's amazing. It looks beautiful. That keyword again is Clover to 33728. Let's have a little taste.
Yeah, I think it's time to taste. Do you want to grab one?
Thank you so much. This looks amazing. And of course, we flipped the script here with our Clover cheddar cheese in the center. Wow.
It's delish. It is super delish. Go make your own at home. Enjoy.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.